Hello, it is I, Dark77 with another fan fiction reading, and as always, I make sure to like, subscribe, and the story will be in the description. Since the first two stories were kind of serious, and especially the first one was dark, I thought I'd end it with something lighthearted. So the story I'm gonna be reading is called Simon's Vendetta by Wybyeets? Wbyeets. I have no idea. God forbid, I have no idea how to pronounce that. And I like the synopsis. Simon Belmont, a legendary slayer of bad guys, returns to vandalize Dracula's private property. So from looking at it, I assume Dracula's like, oh man, like, get off my lawn! No, don't take that whip. No, you cut off another statue's head. Don't make me get the zombies! So I'm hoping to be like that. Like Dracula just being an old man. To get off my lawn. Okay, let's get started. It had been a long time since Simon Belmont had considered himself to be a happy man. Things had been going wrong at an exponential rate since his wife, X-Ray, he reminded himself grimly as he poured another shot of wild turkey. Did he pulverize it and make it into like juice? Like, it tastes like wall. Oh, tastes a little cement. I'm dead. Timmy Belmont had taken their horse and buggy and galloped off into the night while Simon had been at work. The awful bitch, she got more than his horse, she got Simon's pride as well. What was left? Simon looked dizzily about his little kitchen and after a time stood and went to the window over the sink. Dracula's castle struck a silhouette against the moon, stepping up from the hills beyond Simon's meager lot collection of dragon's teeth. He wondered what was going on up there. Simon. Hey, Tammy. Oh, that was just a big goof for me. Tammy, Simon said to the kitchen. It came out in a breath that was nearly a sob. Don't you go up there, Tammy's voice said from the bottom of his mind. From the black rooms, a memory he had tried and failed to blockade with 1,000 bottles. You leave them people alone, Simon. They ain't never done no turn of mischief to us. Tammy had never liked Simon's trip to Dracula's castle. In the end, he believed there had probably been what had driven her away, but he had never been able to hold himself back. Not then and not now. There were just so many things up there, and when he was deep in his drink to take his anger out on. The castle became Simon's wild amusement park. So let me get this straight. In this story, the Belmonts don't go to Dracula's castle, or specifically Simon, to stop Dracula from taking a role. He does it because he's drunk off his ass and is like, yeah, I want to do it. I'm drunk. The focus and point of his every hedonistic desire. And he knew that on his night he would be going again. You're a fighting man, Tammy's voice scolded. You always was, Simon. Fighting man I am, Simon agreed, smoothing back his mullet and going to find his circlet and war skirt. I'm sorry, just seeing. Said, a fighting man I am. They put on the skirt. There! I Scottish now! I have the voice! Laddie! I'm sorry. I'm finally over my depressive state. Finally. Half an hour later, Simon Belmont arrived at the gate of Dracula's castle. His eyes were bloodshot and furious. He took the bars of the gate in both hands and gave it a hearty shake. It didn't open. He stumbled backwards a step and unlimbered his whip. Open this fucking gate! Simon bellowed, lashing the bars crosswise. Sparks flew. A crow called out in the night. After a while, a figure appeared, coming down the drive to meet him. With a skeleton. Simon Belmont hated skeletons. Let me in! Simon shouted. The skeleton shook its head slowly back and forth. Can't do that, Mr. Belmont. Can't let you in. You're not allowed in here no more. Not after what you did last time. You open this goddamn gate, Simon said. Can't let you in, Mr. Belmont. Open it! Simon screamed. Open it! Open it, you skeleton fuck! This don't need to be no production, Mr. Belmont. You turn around and go home. Go on home. Otherwise, I'm not. afraid I'm gonna have to give the constable a call. Now you don't want that. I can imagine the call. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, constable. Yes, there is some scary guy in a skirt at the outside. Who is this? I am the skeleton. You're what? A skeleton. I work for Dracula. I need TV from alcohol. What? Come help me, some guy is attacking me. I'm outside that big castle on the hill. Yeah. What? Who are you again? Steve. Is that you a skeleton? Yes. No, I'm human. My name is Steve. Steve. Winchester. Your last name's a gun? Yes. Yes, it's Steve Winchester. Can I get the address? 1 second. Dracula! What? I'm too busy lamenting over my wine. What's the address? 1-800-fuck you! 1-800-fuck you. Boom. Ah, that's rude. No. Dracula! Yes, we have a guy in a skirt. This is the guy with the whip. Yes. Well, fuck. Call the constable. I was at the constable, you idiot. Oh. Oops. Sorry. Sorry. Simon stepped back from the gate. I can't believe I actually did that skit, the whole thing. Simon stepped back from the gate and glared at the shambling skeleton. He was blistering angrily. I'm gonna get in, he promised the skeleton. And then, when I do, I'm gonna whip you with a dick. I ain't got no dick, Mr. Belmont. Simon lowered his head at the church at the gate. He clanged against it and screamed like a buzzard. The bars bowed inward at the slightest bit. There's the Belmont, you going home. I'm climbing over it, Simon announced. I can climb this gate. The skeleton clattered off into the darkness while Simon began to scale the gate. I actually like this story so far. It was slow going because Simon was so drunk. Of course, because when in life, blame everything on alcohol. There's a reason I don't touch it. I don't like alcohol. But he eventually got a hold of the arrowhead point and pulled himself up and over. With a dramatic roar of victory, I made it! He fell off to get into the court. I did it! Ow! Come back here, you shithead! He breathed, coming first to his knees and then to his feet. The whip had gotten tangled around the points atop the gate when he climbed over, so he had to spend a minute pulling it down. He wished it wasn't a chain whip. A standard cord whip would have come loose much easier, but the steel links caught and jagged weirdly against one another and made removing the whip from the gate a job and a half. When at last Simon Belmont was rearmed, he staggered towards the barn he thought the skeleton had retreated into. The barn was where Dracula kept his haunted horse heads. You get out of here! You get out of here, Simon Belmont! The skeleton shouted as Simon burst through the walls. You get your dirty ass out now! This is private property! Simon coiled up his whip and got into a whipping stance. So he got into the Belmont pimp. It's like, I have to do this. I have to do this. But the pimp walk! Pimp, 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 pimp. And got into a whipping stance. He shook his head to clear it, and then, in a surprising display of marksmanship, struck a candle neatly down from the wall. The skeleton screamed at fear. You're ruining all the candles! I'll tell you, dickless bastard! Belmont recoiled his whip, and then slung it at the skeleton, striking it smartly on his hip. The skeleton screeched and bumped backward in a pile of hay. Like hornets from a jostle net, haunted horse heads began to rear up off the dusty floor of the barn. Oh shit, Simon said huskily. Suddenly he felt way too drunk to fend off flying horse heads. You're drunk! You shouldn't be doing anything! Then again, you're drunk! That's not gonna... Your common sense is gonna go straight out the window into, like, the Grand Canyon. Or Chuck Norris's beard. Something like that, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that joke. So I then fumbled a nearby stick through the door handles. He could hear the angry horse heads neighing and bouncing around inside the barn with the whip skeleton. Skeleton, motherfucker, Simon Belmont said, bracing himself against the door with both hands while he tried to regain his balance. I hate this place. I hate all this. Then why are you there? Oh, right. Drunk. Not exactly the smartest person when you're drunk. All at once, Simon realized he was hungry. The liquor had switched gears on him and was now issuing a command to search out and destroy a pork chop post haste. His stomach made a loud noise. He rolled himself around 180 degrees and went back down the road that led to the gate and the graveyard. It was very dark, and Simon twice lost his footing and went face first in the mud. By the time he reached the graveyard, he looked pretty well done in. Give it up, he said aloud to the darkness, and whipped an elaborately carved marble headstone in the shape of a winged angel. A large chip of marble busted off the angel's shoulders. Simon moved in close and looked. Nothing. No pork chop! He went from grave to grave, whipping and whipping, smashing things left and right. He overturned a garbage can Dracula had set out for mourners to use so that the graveyard would not become polluted with their debris. Oh my god. There was no pork chop in there either. Simon cried out harshly and fell to his knees. He was starving to death. You leave the people alone, Simon. Tammy Belmont screamed at Simon at some place deep in his mind. It ain't right for you to go and stir up trouble every night. Stop, you slut! Simon gurgled, lying down in the mud. It's a family duty. I gotta whip Dracula and the skeletons. It's gotta be done. He found himself sliding downward into the abyss. With one last burst of strength, he latched his fingers onto a tombstone and pulled himself up. Stars swooped through his field of vision. He was blind and starving and lonely. He bellowed, and then slid back down into the mud. 20 minutes later, Dracula and two skeletons Dracula and two skeletons managed to lift and carry Simon all the way back. I've had it with this asshole, Dracula said. Sure do get heavy when he drinks, one of the skeletons grunted. His back crackled as it shifted its grip on Simon's leg. You think we ought to call the constable again? We ought to call Alcoholics Anonymous! He wouldn't go to any meetings past the first one, Skeleton said. They unlocked the gates and rolled Simon out onto the cobblestone road. I'm going to take that whip away from him, Dracula said after a moment. He took the whip and carried it a short distance away before coiling it loosely and throwing it as hard as he could into the trees. It drooped over the branch like a dead snake. He's just gonna find it again, one of the skeletons said, or a different one. Hopefully he just dies, Dracula said, shaking his head. I know that's an awful thing to say, but I really had it with this fucking guy. I mean, really, I'm tired of dealing with this shit every night. Dracula and the two skeletons locked the gate against Simon's slumbering body and started to walk past it. I actually liked it. I thought it was funny. I mean, just the whole idea of Dracula just going into his castle, like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. You're drunk. No, I'm sober. Ah. Go home, Simon. Drunk. I don't think we can fight right now. No, Davy, where'd you go? To town? No, she left me. She took all my stuff. Skeletons, what do you have? What should we get out of the canteen? Pinata Pinasa? No. Why do I get the feeling I heard that before? Did you watch in the Vampire Tube? Maybe. I don't know. I have the ability to see in the future for random videos. Did you see that long concert? I was like, wait. No. Simon, don't. All right. Skeleton silence. Pick him up. Just toss him on the ground. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna go on Vampire Tube and go watch Cats. And maybe some guy getting punched between the legs. I really need a chuckle right now. After that, Abomination! And maybe Would you want me to get fine? Oh, yes, some carbonara, sir. Some carbonara, sir. That'd be nice. Maybe a chutney. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, chutney. I like the deep wine. Maybe a blanc. Maybe a blanc. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a humor story. You can't really make it long unless you're gonna. You can't make a humor story long. It has to be something like this length, and I really do like the story. And I wasted 15 minutes of my life reading a drunk Simon deciding to pull a Grand Theft Auto. So, with that humorous joke, what is a man? I don't know. What is a man? They don't have breasts. This is Dark 7777 and